StreamYard tries to tell me how to live my life. We are live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fanboy modeling school.
The day of reckoning has finally come.
Oh, I know you've been waiting for this one.
Oh, shit.
It's happening. It had to happen. Well, what can I say? Jada would say
emotional
damage.
Well, welcome to tonight's fanboy modeling school. No, you are not on the wrong calendar. You're not looking at the wrong date.
Nope.
It is a random Friday night because we have a special report to talk about.
Oh, ding dong. The bitch is dead. The bitch is dead. Fuck the algorithm, man. Oh, bro.
This is deemed an after dark special, which means
yes,
at least in our own minds, we can say what we want.
Yes. Yeah. Here's the thing. Shout out to Rumble, the only place that's not going to hit us with a copyright strike or anything like that after this video. If you didn't know,
they'll be like, they'll call us synphobes for the things we say.
Bro, we got a copyright strike for talking about light-skinned people. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, guys, we got a strike for the other video the other day. And it was before showing that video of who was that?
Melanie King and mediocre tutorials and reviews.
Yeah, and I can. Do they have a corporation fund? Anyway, that's not important. That's behind the scenes talk. I hate talking about that on the show. What I love talking about is our 3 stories tonight.
Because
originally, the way this started is that I was gonna do a story about Jada yesterday, but there was something wrong. As I started to talk about it, there was just something wrong right there. It was missing one thing, and that thing is Steve, the Hold Up TV.
Bro, I've been waiting to smoke on this bald-headed bitches pack for years. I've been dealing with people coming with me talking about I hate black women, that I hate women, that I don't like to see a strong woman. I was like, is there a chance that I don't like this woman? Is there a chance I don't like that woman? Doesn't have anything to do with black women or that woman right there. Folks, finally, in a hue of effervescent light, God spoke to me and he said something great is going to happen. And I woke up and I checked Google News, the worst source of news, by the way. Google will always give you news 2 days late.
All they ever do is give me Meghan Markle stuff. So I'm like,
and the most beautiful, delightful thing had happened. Facebook, Meta, as you may know it, has canceled all their originals. Now, I don't know what other originals they had besides 2. And both were owned by one cum-guzzling, matrimony-ruining woman in the name of Jada Pinkett. There was Red Table Talk, and then there was Blue Table Talk, hosted by the woman that made the song The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. No shade.
Was the producer of that. It's considered a spin-off of her show.
Right.
And you're right. I had never heard of any other original coming off of Facebook. It was totally bizarre. I bet you that was certainly the only original that they were paying real money into, which this is a success for justice and taste.
Absolutely. And she used that money to go get a hotel with August Alsina so she can get her old brittle legs bent behind her ears and he could pound her dry.
I think she's banging younger guys right now. I think he's too old.
Oh, son, you know she's putting the pressure on like Jaden. She's like, come on, get me more, get me younger. When I think of Jada Pinkett, I think of Ursula from The Little Mermaid, right? The real one with the white chick and the red hair. I think about Ursula from The Little Mermaid, and that's what I think of Jada Pinkett as. I assume she spreads her legs and that fucking Mothra of a vagina unfurls and tentacles come out, and Will Smith's fucking head is sticking out from there. And I'm smoking on a Jada pack. If you're smoking on a spoon pack, I am smoking on a Jada pack. I've dealt with discrimination, folks. For 2 fucking years, people have been defending this bitch.
You call it discrimination when people say they like Jada?
No, I don't call that discrimination. I'm not a delusional blue pillar. I call it discrimination when people are like, I just feel as if though you're not a safe person to be around because of what? Because what? I called the bitch what she is? An opportunistic whore?
Well, you know, she's been doing, as you know, I hate the no kink shame train.
Shame it.
And she's been riding the hell out of it. She's like, you can't say anything. Did I bang an underage kid who was friends with my son? Yes, but you can't do anything about it because that's a kink.
Wait, real quick. I just want to like clear something up for the record. He wasn't underage. We don't want that. We don't have defamation against him.
How old was he?
He was of age, but what you did, he was above 18.
Yeah, he was 19. That's not.
Was he 19 at the time?
You are right. That's not underage.
Is that a fact? Was he 19?
I believe he was at the time.
Okay. We'll fact check that. But the most important thing you said there, right? Imagine if Will Smith presented himself as a new age spiritual healer, and Willow brought home her 19-year-old friend. We don't know the age for sure, but we'll get it to you. And Will Smith said, allow her to come into our home to be healed by us while I give her all of the Willy Bobo. How do you think that would have turned out? How do you think the world would have reacted to Will
right,
Smith?
Absolutely. Will preying on a much younger person who's looking for help from him. Yeah, no, that would have totally exploded. And by the way, guys, thank you so much for chopping in. I'm sorry we're behind on the chat. We love you and the support. And just a reminder, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and keep tuning in to Fanboy Modeling School, currently on Fight Juice TV, but we're spreading out.
You're spreading out.
Fanboy stuff on all sorts of crazy channels.
Everywhere.
But one channel it's not going to be on is anything on Spoon.
Oh shit! Because it's dead.
We're both having a great week. Our arch enemies have both been destroyed.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing, man. Shout out to you, man. Last night's episode, you're a funny guy. No doubt about it. You've always entertained and made me laugh, man. From the radio station, back in the college days, all that shit, man. Back to the Haven, always made me laugh, man. But last night, you were on fire, my guy. When you said you got off your train, and me being a New Yorker, understanding these things, and being familiar with Westchester and all these areas, when you said you got off 2 full fucking stops earlier to get wine, and then sit in a bench at a park to howl at the moon, I did it. I beat you.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. Yes.
And I feel like we've all been, I think you've definitely been there. I think a lot of people.
Oh my God. I've danced on the graves of my enemies.
Yeah.
This is real shit. I've literally stood over the grave of an enemy of mine, an op, as you kids would say. And I'm like, I'll raise your son right.
We're going to go to a break, guys.
But at any rate, with the police stand by. At any rate, I thought it was an amazing episode, man. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot. Shallon says it has begun.
It has begun, bro. So I'm looking forward to this you smoking on a spoon pack episode. I think this is going to be insane. So if you guys don't know, when Spoon proper, as I like to call it, unceremoniously ended all its original content, which they paid for, and their partner program, and completely disbanded the Discord, the real Discord, right?
That fake shit that's out there right now. Discord.
This man right here sitting right next to me and 2 other guys, Derek HD and Vic Boo. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. I'm coming home from work, right? Getting ready to do Request Box Live or some shit like that. I don't know what the fuck I was going to do. And fucking, you guys are up on a stream with each other, and the banner, or that is the tagline for your episode was, "This fucking app is dead. Run while you can." And I remember coming in there, and you motherfuckers were giving them all the smoke. But that's not even the end of it, folks. After that, I believe they got at you guys privately about leaking the information or some shit, or they got at someone. And then Mantis the next day did an episode which was just a loop of him saying, "This app is dead.
Yeah.
Do not come in."
And the title was "Delete this app." Delete this.
Oh shit! Oh shit! So much fun! So much fun!
We had so much, yeah, it was so much fun. But look, one of my great enemies, who I've been planning this party for a long time now, it has been defeated this week. One of your greatest villains, Jada Pinkett Smith, has been defeated this week. Are we having a great week or what?
I would say we're having an amazing week. Now, that's not to say that unlike your enemy, my enemy could re-pop up on BET.com, Fox.com, with the other old black bitches that are on the Fox show, that one bitch from that one movie and that one bitch from that one show.
Especially since nowadays people switch sides. They you think they have firm political beliefs in like
No,
the network of their they will go across the street and sign with someone. Like, I would not be surprised if Tucker Carlson signs with CNN tomorrow.
Bro, speaking of that, Don Lemon fired from CNN same day, bloody news media Monday, it's been deemed, right?
Yeah.
Don Lemon has signed an exclusive deal with BET, Black Entertainment Television, for a 3-year contract for $50 million. We're going to be getting into that tonight.
Well, some would say he's not black and he's not entertaining. So how's he gonna handle
it? But if you don't know, BET is where black newscasters go to die.
They're gonna have to spice him up a little. He'll get spiced up. What are they gonna have him doing? He's gonna be the Source Awards guy? Well, like what exactly are they gonna have him doing, man?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, man, we're smoking on a Don Lemon pack. We're smoking on a Jada pack. And we're going to give Steven Crowder a little bit of the smoke as well. Now, we are on Rumble, and we're on Mantis' channel. I would have preferred that we were on Fanboys so he wouldn't catch any blowback. But we got to get the finances and, right for that type of shit. It's $10 a month.
The thing is that Rumble, I love Rumble, and I'm going to keep supporting Rumble. It still is like, it's a baby app. So it's got a lot of glitches and weird requirements to stream. It's bizarre, but we're going to work it out.
We're going to work it out. We're going to work it the fuck out.
Matt Cat's up in here. He says, "Hail Fat Mantis. Hail Steve."
Is that your real name? It's a gimmick. My name is Akbar.
Yeah, he's Akbar. Hail to the chat. BET is trash, says Dubs. BET is trash. However, it might be entertaining to watch Don Lemon pretend to be around his own kind.
Oh, this is going to be amazing. Given the episode we did where we played Don Lemon's critique.
Literally 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we revealed his thoughts on the black community. And now he's going to be like, he's like looking at himself in the mirror. He's like, I can pretend to be black for 8 hours a day. As he's going through this interview.
It's going to spark so many great conversations because, here on YouTube. So I just want you to be mature about this, right? You have to be mature. You have to use your critical thinking, be pragmatic about it, right? Are LGBTQ issues necessarily African-American issues? This is a question that's been posed by many people in, the black community, the African-American community. Are these the same thing? So we might get into that a little bit. Are they the same thing? Or do we have the same goals?
That is a super important and very nuanced conversation that I'm willing to have tonight because I've got a lot of thoughts on what you just said.
We got a lot of thoughts, and then we really got to unpack this Jada Pinkett thing, right? So I'm going to give all her props right now, right? I respect anyone that's able to grind and get something up from the ground, right? And I got to give her respect. Her career as an actress was not as relevant as her husband's. And she came up with Red Table Talk, and it was a phenom in the beginning. You got to give her respect. People were tuning into these interviews, man. I don't think people really started looking at the show as something completely morbid until she sat down with her husband to talk about her indiscretions. And that wasn't the morbid
Clips of
part.
that episode still, like, ring out in my mind. I'm just like, when I saw it first time, when I never watched a full episode of that show. When I
Right.
saw that clip, it haunts me. Sometimes I wake up in cold sweats thinking about it.
Bro, if there's a meme police, that episode gave the meme police everything they ever needed, right? It's the picture that's damn near as infamous as Michael Jordan crying. It's Will Smith with the red eyes looking at it with his head tilted.
Yo,
Fuck it,
by the
it's
way,
horrible.
Matt in the chat says, "You think Don Lemon will start talking in Ebonics and all that?"
I think
I
gonna
would
try.
pay.
He's gonna try.
I would.
He's gonna try.
I would watch that show. I would watch BET on the regulars if he started doing that.
That would be amazing. It would be amazing. It would be amazing to see how people turned on him.
Yeah.
So what do
But
you want to start? What do you want to start?
um, yeah, I hate to be serious, but let's get serious out of the way. Let's talk about what you said because I already started thinking about it about the LGBT Q situation and like whether some people question whether it's a black issue.
All right, so that's an interesting place, like for the landing point right here, right? All right, and I leave it to the chat, right? You're not gonna leave me and Mantis up here to take all the smoke. So I pose that question to you. Are LGBTQ issues the same thing as black issues? Now, whether you're talking about diaspora, black proper, including the continent of Africa, we'll land it here in America.
Yeah, the
Black
black community in America.
black community in America. The conversation has already started. Why don't more African Americans get behind LGBTQ issues? And then the response is, are these really black issues, right? Are these issues that African Americans, Jamaican Americans, Nigerian Americans, whatever you want to qualify, before America, is this something that we need to be a part of?
So
Now, before you answer, man, let's let's give the chat, right? Because this is how motherfuckers get canceled, right? I'm proposing a question. I want to hear it from you, fine people. We're just two commentators up here, two bum ass motherfuckers
right.
talking about deep issues. Are these the same type of conversations?
Hello, Rogue Radio, and you are never late.
You're never late, bro.
Shaolin says she was forgettable in Gotham. That whole show was forgettable, but she certainly didn't help that.
Yes.
Max is like, no, she says no, flat out no, in terms of whether it is for the black community an issue.
Ooh.
So I know I'm white, but the black friends I have, it's more than one, but none of them are down with the LGBT stuff, especially the tan stuff. Oh, yes. Good save, by the way. Thank you for that.
Good save.
RM says there is intersectionality between the issues, but not completely overlapping. Shaolin says, not in the slightest, not even in the same realm of existence.
Now, could that possibly be, right? Since we're recognizing groups for having a community. So there's some intersectionality between, black people and Jewish people, right? But I wouldn't say that we have the same belief structure and we want the same things. So there's some intersectionality between the LGBTQ community and the black community. I don't think we have the same goals, do we?
Here's the thing, though. Intersectionality is different everywhere you go, depending on which community against which community and that kind of situation. And so, for instance, I find it bizarre that, and this is typical, and I'm going to say it, guys, and once again, I don't hate white people. Half white. My favorite limousine driver is a white guy. Okay, so, but straight up, I noticed that whites. Here's what it is. Whites claim that white culture is not the default culture of America. They don't control us. It's not. We're a big melting pot, as they say. However, anytime something needs to be dealt with, they ignore the other person's specific American subculture,
right,
and expect it to be handled like a white person handles it. And so what I'm saying is the mainstream conversation, the mainstream way we talk about the LGBT situation, it's always going through a white lens.
Okay,
and they're intolerant of the way the black community deals with it.
Wait, can you give me a for instance? Because I can give you some stuff that's it's not even subjective. It's circumstantial, anecdotal at best, but I think still relevant. Can
Okay.
you give us, for instance?
So I'll give you an example. I had a nice, a lovely lady who used to take martial arts with me, and she was very white and she's Pentecostal, and she lived in like the woodland area when I was living out in Virginia. And
Right.
sometimes she would say things and just ask questions about black people that you would be like, "What did you just say?" Because she really didn't know.
Okay.
And she once asked me, why do black people talk angry?"
Oh.
And I explained to her, and then I said, "Well, and I had to think about it. At first, I got a little angry. I got a little angry, but I didn't. I was like, "What?" And I realized I was like, "Oh, she never." And here's what it is: she literally asked because she just wants to know. And I say, "It's not that, but in black culture, they tell it to you straight more often." And I find that in white culture, they like to dance around things. You see what I'm saying? However, her and probably most of America would just simply write it off as black people are angry.
Right.
And so that's the way it is. And so how can we have the same conversation of these things if they don't understand that in the black American culture, they tell it to you straight more often?
Well, you would hope they would, but you know, you got the Benjamin Crumps. Not no shade at Benjamin Crump, but I'm just using it as an example. Like there are instances of people within the African American, Caribbean American, Black American. Let's just sum it up there, right?
Yeah.
Who will not answer a question straight out. You ask them a question, they won't answer it. They won't answer it. They won't. They won't. But Shaolin says, "Oh, I think I know who that was." I get you, man.
Yeah,
But
you do. You do. You absolutely do.
so here's the issue, right? Or here's the question of the day. Are these issues the same, right?
Mhm.
Are black people in America, no matter where they come from or where they hail from the great point of Africa, are their concerns the same thing as the LGBT community's concerns, right? So you had the whole thing going on in Uganda. Some people might say that that's a great example that this is not an issue outside of America or outside of, you know, America and England and France. What are your thoughts? I'm gonna use the bathroom. Tell the people your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Matt says, I think a lot of it has to do with the black community is very religious, and the LGBT agenda is contrary to their values. Um, Give them their own island. We don't want them. Whoa. Um, Israel. And then the lady does the face palm. Is your favorite limo driver named Roni? Yes, it is. How did you know Roni? Oh, I think I knew who they is. RM says, look at how black women are accused of being masculine or flat out misgendered because they may not hold up to the white beauty standard. Yeah, there is a lot of that. And like, I hate identity politics, so I hate to like solely lean on this. I know I'm almost speaking like a liberal professor at a liberal arts school or something, but I do believe in it. I do believe in the intersectionality. I do believe in white beauty standards. I believe in all that stuff. I just think sometimes we hark on that stuff too much, but it certainly is there.
Well,
RM made a great point about black women being considered masculine compared to white beauty.
right, but we gotta, oh, man, we gotta differentiate between the points. And RM, I agree with you. I agree that black women have historically been accused of a lot of things that not all of them are guilty of. But it's different to be accused of being masculine versus the other thing I can't say because we're still on YouTube,
Mm.
right?
Right,
Right?
right.
Right? Like there's a conversation that has to be had. But I feel between women and you know, other women. Me and you can't weigh in on this conversation. It's not for us to speak on, right? This conversation has to be had between the women groups,
Right.
right? Hey, folks, are you getting what I'm laying down here? Are you reading in between the lines, right? If we were just on Rumble, I would give it to you straight raw. But I'm going to give it to you just a tip. That conversation,
Yeah, that was a sanitary way of saying that. Out of all the metaphors you could have used, you said just the tip.
that conversation about black women being accused of behaving in a masculine way versus the other conversation, I don't think are synonymous or even in correlation with each other, right? Because one is just conjecture. The other, right? Right? You understand what I'm like? You see where I'm
I'm
going?
picking up what you're putting down, brother.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
That says this is true, Mantis. White people can be too nice sometimes.
Mm.
Cat Williams says this funny bit about call the wrong number with white people, and it's dead on. He's hysterical. But you are right. It's the too nice thing. And so I'll give you an example. So I live not only in like a primarily white suburbs, very
So white.
so white,
So white.
that I'll tell you that even when white people are threatening me, they do it with a smile. And they
The
say
first time I came, well, that's Southern America, but like the first time I came to your like I'm pretty sure the Klansmen in Florida are like, oh boy, we gonna get you. But like the first time I came to your fucking area, I felt like I was in Canada, the great state of Canada, as I
oh,
like to call it.
don't
Like,
even get me started on Canadians. They're acting so freaking Canadian lately. I just want to I just oh my god. But, but so basically what I have to say is that my total thoughts on it is
all right,
essentially that
unpack it.
it's not that the black community necessarily handles it wrong. They handle it differently. However, because white standard is considered default community in society and culture, they look at the black community and the way they're handling LGBT stuff, and they're like, "You're savages. Let us teach you how to handle it with kid gloves." And they just don't respect that. Maybe you just need to back off and let
Wait,
people.
who is this? Who's handling it with kid gloves?
Well, I would say the whites are. So
Okay.
the whites are handling everything with kid gloves, which is why I think America is in the pile of steaming shit that it's in right
Okay.
now.
Would you say that Matt Walsh is handling it with kid
No,
gloves?
no, he's not. What I'm saying is the final pushback is only recently coming back.
Okay, I got you.
Right, but I'm saying before, up until then, up until now, people have been like, "Well, we don't talk about this. We don't do this. We don't call people out on things.
Right,
You just look
right.
away. We look away." And I'm like, how is that a thing? Well, I would say in the black community, they face things head on.
Well, here's the interesting thing about it, right? You put the mic in front of the right brother on the right day in the in the in the community, you're gonna get some whether it's truth or not is up to you to decide, but you're gonna get an opinion, right? You're gonna get a definite opinion. And interestingly enough, if you want an opinion, and now I'm going to fuck with some people's worldviews, for all you spiritualists, for you chakra loving black people out there.
He's talking
Third
to
eye.
Laney. He's talking to Laney.
No, I said black people. You third eye black people. Your man Umar Johnson, doctor. Make no mistake. He has a doctorate. This man is clinically certified, board certified. Has some very interesting views in regards to the topic we're talking about. In fact, it only takes a few clicks on your keyboards to see what happened when a member of the LGBTQ plus community came to one of his earlier lectures and tried to introduce some of their communal concerns into the black community's concerns. And Umar, in no uncertain terms, said, no, those are not our issues. Those are your issues. So, if a man like Umar Johnson, who's controversial in very nature, but he is a huge proponent for Pan-Africanism and obviously the African American experience, why would he say these things, Mantis? Do you think he's espousing hate?
So I know of him and I know some of the things he has to say.
Right.
I don't know him enough where I could say he's espousing hate. I do know, like from what little I've heard about how he feels about this topic, I would say that I don't agree. Um, here's what it is. I'm not quick to call people things hate speech or hate.
Right,
I think we
right,
do that too quickly
right,
because something is different and alien to us. We immediately are like, this person's a racist. This person's a phobe.
right.
They just need some white person giving them therapy and they'll be fine. Fuck that.
One's in the chat for anyone that's brave enough. Do you think Orthodox Jewish people are transphobic? Remember what I just said. Orthodox Jewish people. Do you think they're transphobic?
I would say I don't even know how they stand on.
Don't answer that question. We're on YouTube. We're letting the chat answer.
Yes, I understand. I understand. I'm just saying. Look at how black women. Oh wait, I'm rereading something. Sorry. Um. Oh, Steve. Do you know what
Know
they
what they
say?
say about.
Oh, what they say? Yes, we absolutely know what they say about Michelle.
And those people are idiots. She's not masculine in one way or another. She is physically fit, but a woman being physically fit is not masculine. So, and I want to address the Michelle Obama thing, right? Because this is one of the things I used to bang on on Facebook many moons ago. There's not one thing that's masculine about her. You can make an argument that maybe she's not the most attractive woman, and I would disagree with you. I think Michelle Obama is beautiful. But a woman being physically fit is not masculine at all, right? Like physically fit. Now, bodybuilder, I don't know. That's a different conversation. But Michelle Obama is physically fit. There's nothing masculine about her at all. Easily identified as a woman.
Right, or Serena or Venus.
I would be there. The only
I'd be
non-woman that we're going to talk about tonight is the demon spawn of hell, passing itself off as a black woman, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Roxanne says that's crazy and racist.
What's crazy and racist?
No, I think they're teasing me when I was saying that. Like,
Oh,
I don't think you know it was a racist. And then Shaolin says, "You're on thin ice, Bucko."
Who's on thin ice?
Lainey says, "Black women are strong, beautiful, and take no shit. Oh, think they embody feminism."
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Bex is saying, yep.
Canada. Canada's pretty.
Bex is saying, "Yep." To are you saying, "Yep"? To do you think Orthodox Jewish people are?
I think that was from before because they're still talking about Canada.
Oh, okay, got you.
Shellen says there is something to be said about how black women are so crazily emulated and copied in the gay community. I feel like that's acknowledged. Oh wow!
Whoa! Are you talking about
said.
appropriation? Read it again. There is something to be said about how black women are so crazily emulated, copied in the beep community. I feel like that's never acknowledged.
Wow. That was well said. That was super well said, right?
Extremely well said. In fact, there's a great video on IG with okay, so just before I put my foot in my mouth, I just want to know the rules of political correctness. Am I still allowed to say trans women? I'm going to assume that I am. There's a video that has gone viral on IG with 4 trans black women talking about appropriation. I'm going to leave it there. And if you want to see the link, hit me up in Discord. And then let's talk about that word appropriation.
And so Matt says, I'm not trying to answer the Jewish question. Wait, so
wait, go back to Laney's questions. Orthodox Jews are anti-gay, not only anti-trans. That's a question. So if they are, how many of you are outside picketing and lobbying against Jewish people for being anti-trans and anti-gay? Orthodox qualifier. Oh yeah, it's after dark. That face Mantis just made, he was like, "Fuck,
fuck, I'm getting canceled tonight, and I have to work in the morning. Like 2 strikes against me already." But no, you're all right. These are the rules of After Dark, so we're gonna do it till we're canceled, or Rumble's the only one who will accept us, right? So we're gonna go for it. Here's what I'm saying. I personally, and it sounds like I'm tiptoeing, little simp ass bitch. I personally don't like grouping one group and saying that they believe something that I cannot prove or back up. You know
what?
I'm saying?
What fucking CNN drivel did you just hit me with?
I'm not gonna speak for the Orthodox Jewish community. Is what I'm saying.
Wait. I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking on behalf of their beliefs. Because remember, in Israel, there was a situation where go look it up, Google it, use your Google machine, where there was a gay pride parade going on. and some people got stabbed. And I'll leave it to your imagination to understand who got stabbed and what community. And if you know anything about the Tanakh, the Torah,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I can make assumptions for having read the Bible, particularly Old Testament. I can make assumptions about things they believe. Yeah.
Assumptions. Assumptions. Okay, go for it.
Matt says, I agree, Steve. I don't he's talking about
Michelle Obama.
Michelle. I don't find her masculine. I'm just not attracted to her. The Michelle rumors were that I was calling crazy and racist. Yes.
Yes.
It was horrible what she was going through. It's horrible what a lot of these women go through.
Yes, Steve, to your question. So Bex was referring to
your question. The question
yes.
of the interview. The one that's gonna get me arrested. Lady says,
why would that, I gotta ask you, why is that question so offensive? So if I said, are Muslims anti-trans?
I wouldn't answer that either.
Really?
Because it's like I'm not Muslim, and so therefore I can't speak on their behalf. I know what I assume, but that's Mantis' assumption.
But you've read the Bible, right?
Yeah, I've even read part of the Quran. Yeah.
So okay, wait. So you're answering and not assuming what they believe about.
Because think about it this way: what if there were like a group of white guys on a stream who are like, the black community believes this? I mean, is it fair that they say that?
Wait, is there a book that unifies us in our belief structure?
It's a magazine called Ebony.
No, wrong motherfucker. Wrong motherfucker. So this is my thing in regards to the red pill, right? So whenever people tell me what people in the red pill believe, I'm like, well, there's no book that definitively, there's no agreed upon doctrine. There's some agreed upon principles, but there's no doctrine that they all agree on. But there's definitely a book for Christians, Jewish people, and Muslims. And if you're Buddhist, there's some scrolls somewhere that say something.
There are 7 sutras. Okay.
Yeah, right. No one can find them. No one knows where they are.
But here's what I'm saying. As a Christian, like for instance, I'm a Christian, but I can't stand it when non-Christians tell me what I believe.
Right. Okay. So let's say it's a non-Christian that is well versed in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Verbatim, like line for line.
I've never met one. Let's say there was. This is a magical.
I've met multiple atheists that have read the Bible and can quote it to you word for word. Because now, whether or not they have the context correct all the time, but they can quote it to you, right?
Because there is a lot of stuff that's written in spirit. And if you don't have the spirit, if you're basically looking at it with a bigoted eye, you'll see what you want to see. Right.
Okay.
But I
let me try this.
I understand when someone's like, you're a Christian, you must hate gays.
So,
and I'm like, F you.
Oh,
let
me ask you a question. Condemnation versus hatred.
I'm lost.
Condemnation versus hatred. You're a Christian, right? So the question about whether or not are Orthodox Jews anti-trans. That doesn't mean they hate trans, right? I'm using today's societal terms.
Also, would you define anti?
Would I define anti? I just did. Did. How would I define anti?
Yeah, because some people would say, well, anti just means you hate them and want them dead. And then I'm like,
but that's not what it means.
That's not what it should mean.
That's not what it means. And that's not my problem. Right. Someone being antithetical or anti your views doesn't mean they want to put you somewhere where you're going to die. It just means I am not pro.
In the modern age, they use the phrase like that. That's another
thing. That's not my problem. Words have meaning. That's not my problem.
Not in the 21st century, they don't. Have you not seen we've redefined everything?
My bad. No wonder Jada Pinkett rose to power, killed the Little Mermaid. Yeah, I think Jada Pinkett, if she had half the chance, she would be the Little Black Mermaid. I think she thinks in her mind
all the Black Mermaids. If she's such an egotist.
So at the end of the day,
because oh my god, man, but this is how she rose to power. That's a very good point. What have we discussed so far? We've discussed how mainstream culture, aka white culture, doesn't actually speak out about certain things. And so,
Right.
and we're talking about how the mutation of our language, the forced mutation of our language, where people use words for whatever reason they want. So, as this is going on, nobody's speaking up about people misusing words. And someone, a grifter like Jada Pinkett Smith, is able
Oh
to
boy.
have a Facebook show and get paid for it. Who's on Facebook? Who the hell is on Facebook? When she won that award, the only people watching were those 3 judges.
So the interesting thing about are we done with the other topic? I just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing about Jada Pinkett. Let's look at her body of work. The first time I was exposed to Jada Pinkett was on A Different World. Doesn't mean that's the first time she had an acting gig, right?
Ooh.
The Jada Pinkett I grew up with was extremely desirable
Yeah.
for the traits that most people would condemn her for now. She was like this tomboyish, not masculine, because we didn't say that shit back in our day. Like, even calling a girl tomboy was maybe taking it too far. She was just kind of a strong woman. Emphasis on woman. Like, she was a
Well,
no-nonsense woman in all the characters she played. Fucking Demon Knights, Tales of the Crypt. Her character was pretty fucking amazing.
well,
Jason's Lyric. Her character was amazing. Set It Off. She was amazing in that
I
movie.
would say that the 80s, like the 80s through the 90s, was the threshold between tomboys being like sexy and cool,
Right.
and then what we have today, where people like they crossed over out of the 90s into the 2000s, and somehow they're like, oh, you like football? Top surgery. You know what I'm saying? This is a drastic, insane thing. And the threshold was the 90s. Because remember, if you watch the 90s, the movies, all the girls had short hair, they all
Right.
kicked ass, and we had no problem with it. We like chick like.
Well, I mean, you look at you look at a movie like 16 Candles, Homegirl from Breakfast Club, 16 Candles. She had short hair, but no one assumed that she was less feminine than anyone else. And Michelle Obama has way longer hair. Plug to the original point. But here's the thing about Jada Pinkett. That's not what made me dislike her, right? It was none of her body of work prior. None of that stuff, man.
I have a theory.
It wasn't even the first episode of the Red Table Talk. I officially had an issue with Jada when she disrespected her husband and herself and ruined my young inner black image of Will Smith and her. When they did that episode, which I don't know why an advisor or someone, a PR person didn't say, hey, maybe not the best idea for you two to go live and to talk about your indiscretions in a way that lacks accountability or any type of reality.
But I could see, because of what her show was, her show is like, anyone can just come on and just be themselves in a safe space. Because of the nature of the show, I could see producers being like, oh, you're gonna talk about your adultery against your husband? Oh, you're so stunning and brave. Get up there, girl. Speak your truth.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that sometimes that even in mass delusion, sometimes reality pushes back, right? And even all the people who were celebrating the Red People Talk, I don't know how the ratings were on the show, the clicks per views, all that bullshit.
Right.
But I do know this: the internet overwhelmingly rejected that episode, especially when they ended the show with the episode I'm talking about, the most infamous episode, which she confessed to her indiscretions with August Astina. When her and Will ended the show, misquoting Bad Boys, saying "bad marriage for life."
Yeah. That was gross. That was very gross. By the way, did you see this Matt's comment right there?
Yeah, no.
He says, "Can I DM you, Steve? I don't have Discord. I want to see these women talk about them appropriating women."
Yes,
He
yes,
wants
you
you to
can,
put 'em
Matt.
up.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
RM says, you know we can't boycott our bosses and landlords. It looks like Lainey got that. Anyone else who got that reference that RM is speaking, you go for yours. I'm not going to explain that joke on this stream, but I think you can all guess. Leave my Black Mermaid out of y'all Jada shenanigans. Oh my god, imagine if she became the Little Mermaid. That would be crazy. I could see her casting herself as the Little Mermaid. Oh my god, if Jada was the Little Mermaid, that would be great. She'd be like, "Listen, Prince Eric, I f the entire sea. Now go smack the shit out of the scuttle." Yo, Matt, you really need a sketch comedy show. Uh, I think Matt would be a great writer for a sketch comedy show because he always paints these funny pictures. Back in the
Absolutely,
day,
absolutely.
yeah, back in the day, we didn't say masculine, we said manly. Like that bitch is too manly.
Uh, it's true, but we didn't mean the same things.
But however, we would less likely use that. I can't remember how
Well,
many
here's
times
the
I've ever used that phrase about a woman.
bro,
Just
here's
just
the
'cause
thing, man.
just 'cause
You
a
and I
woman.
we've had homegirls where just like, yo, she'll fuck that fool up, right?
Yeah.
Like, but she was still feminine, right? Like she was still. I was just like, yo, she can box. Shorty can box.
Well, in the age of identity politics, it's funny that you think feminism would blur the line more about the differences between men and women, but they've made it stronger nowadays.
Right,
Like I said, when a little kid is playing with a Barbie instead of a GI Joe, they're like, "Oh, he must be trans." Right?
right.
And but back in the day, we would never say that.
No, you're just like, oh, he picked up a Barbie. How odd. like,
Yeah.
like how odd. Yeah, but all right. So read the rest of the comments, right? Go ahead.
Um, right. Steve is correct. Should have never done that episode. Jada and the guy she effed were the only two that knew, and that's already too many people.
100%. But here's the thing about it, right? The intimacy in regards to that type of episode. Like, I get what they were going for. I get where they were going to the space. We're going to finally address all these rumors and speculation. But what we got instead was a look into a relationship, a marriage that seemed very, very broken and seemed very, very weird. So a lot of people are going to be like, yo, who are you to judge someone else's marriage? I'm no one to judge if it's private. But when they bring it to a public sphere, they gave me permission to make commentation on it, to make commentary on it. And it was so weird in that
My
regard. It was
soundboard
so
doesn't have
weird.
clap on it, but I would be clapping right. I would press that button for you right now. There we go, because you were saying it so well. The fact that they made it public now, well, that's what it is. People are like, stay out of their marriage. Are you kidding me? They put it all
They
over
put it out
social media.
there. They put it out there.
So now we can judge because, of course, anything on our social media we can make calls about. You're right. They could have totally kept that a secret, dealt with it on their own thing. Even if Will's going to be the guy who's like, I understand. We have an open thing. It's all good.
Right.
He should have done that in private and not forced me to watch my hero when I was a young man be a simp.
So here's the thing, man. Prior to that, I agree with your point 100%. Prior to that, I had defended their marriage in regards to I don't know if it's open. Even if it is open, it's not my business, right? It was only speculation. There was always speculation about Will being in the closet. There was always speculation about them having an open marriage. There was speculation about their involvement in the Church of Scientology. Mantis, there was always speculation. The minute you made it public, it was no longer speculation, right? She did an episode with Leah Remedy talking Jada being the she, an episode of Red Table Talk addressing the Scientology shit. So that's now public knowledge. You acknowledge that this is a thing and people can commentate on it. I don't give a fuck about that. Really. I don't like the Church of Scientology, but okay. The thing that really rubbed me wrong about this episode, beyond all the problematic things that most people won't acknowledge, which makes them hypocrites, was the whole bad marriage for life thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you, my guy. These are two people I looked at in regards to the term black excellence. I was like, it's Will and Jada.
For a while, they were like that. Absolutely. I would say
Fuck,
that. Absolutely.
fuck Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? It's Will and Jada.
Yeah, Will and
These
Jada.
are two of the most wholesome people in our community. That's my bad for looking at them that way. But what really rubbed me the wrong way was the response from the public and the hypocrisy in it. I believe in a lot of things that the women saying in the Me Too movement. But those same women were defending Jada. When I say those same women, I mean in places like social media platforms. They were like, "Oh no, Jada should not be villainized for this because the men have gotten away with it."
Well,
And then I
yeah,
started thinking about
that's
the logic.
that's textbook fourth wave feminism. That the idea is that because men got away with X, Y, and Z throughout history, now
Right.
it's completely all right that women do it. And if you're a man and speak up, then you're a monster. If you don't let your wife sleep around, you must be oppressing her sexually. If
Right.
you don't let a woman not ignore her kids and go out and get a job and just be obsessed with her job rather than her family, then you're
Right.
a monster.
Right.
And that is, and I've said it before, and like I'll say it again. I consider myself a feminist, but there's different waves, and it's fourth wave feminism that has gone off the rails. It's not real feminism. It's like a revenge game against males for shit we haven't done.
Right.
It's one,
Right.
they want. It's like they want to cut off my dick because they're like, throughout history we've made 70% on the dollar of what you made. I didn't do that to you. Why are you looking at me? Mantis didn't do shit. Mantis treats all his women employees very well. Like shit, man.
So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. What do you think is next for Jada? Right. So Facebook originals are dead. Right.
This was the original. Oh, well, Serge says, but that's their business. Why would they put it out like that? I almost got divorced and no one ever knew.
Mm.
Them hoes messy. Yes, exactly. A lot of people go through stuff, and we're gonna talk about Steven Crowder later on. He's kind of a less
Right.
important story compared to
Right.
these other two. But yeah, he was trying to keep the secret of his divorce. Nowadays, you're not even allowed to keep your secrets.
Well, Steven Crowder, on the other hand, propped himself up as a moral figure.
Yeah, we'll hit that up later. I am enjoying this Jada talk. So you're saying what next for the Jada, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
here's the thing, and me and you should be worried because
Why?
what it is that with the basic recession that we're in, and no one wants to admit that we're in,
Right.
it's becoming that the tech industry is getting hit. And for instance, them Facebook canceling all their originals
It's a
is
big
just
deal, bro.
just like Instagram stopped paying content creators.
But under the same umbrella, Instagram is Meta, and Meta is Instagram. So
Yeah,
it doesn't surprise me.
well, yeah, they're having money problems, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to be the only ones. And I think people are going to cut back on all this fortune that content creators were getting. So you know what, Jada, who couldn't get a real TV show, let's face it, she was on Facebook.
Right.
Might have a hard time finding a new home.
I agree with you. 85%. The unfortunate part is you're not considering the simp factor, right? So somewhere, somehow, some way, some network is going to go, okay, we're looking at the metrics. She had this level of retention, this amount of clicks, downloads, etc. And they're going to go, this could translate into good TV, right? Because at the end of this, I believe that TV and radio proper are thinking, how can we bounce back from the slaying that we experienced from the booming podcast? I don't know what happened here, man, but people started listening to podcasts during the pandemic, quote unquote, more than they were watching television proper.
And
And
so
lessons like The Story of Us, people were not wanting to hear from the normal forms of medium, right?
yeah, and like for instance, if you are into any radio DJs or radio shows, like for instance, I love the Z Morning Zoo, Z100 or whatever, Elvis Duran and his crew. Every one of them have their own podcast, and
Yeah.
and they hawk it during their morning show.
Yeah. They
They're like, we
promote
got
it
a new
heavily,
episode launching, and they're kind of like basically radio is
right?
simping for podcasts now
Right?
in order to
Yeah.
stay afloat.
No,
Fascinating.
absolutely,
I know it
absolutely,
is absolutely fascinating.
absolutely, absolutely. So in regards to Jada Pinkett, man, I'm gonna call it now, right? Before The Real got canceled, I would assume that Jada was going to Fox, right? Like Fox daytime television or Fox late night or something like that. Now I can't see that. But
Maybe
I'm going
the
to call.
Spanish channel will have her.
Wow. I'm going to
Is
call it
there a
right now.
pineapple channel? Is there a pineapple channel out there?
I'm going to call it right now, bro. I'm going to call it right now, man. Jada may be the first podcast for an HBO or Showtime.
Why did you say that? Why are you jinxing
Because it's
me?
that reaction you had right there was you admitting that there's a
I
possibility.
think you're right. I think you made a good point. Why did you have to by speaking it, you willed it into the reality?
No, I'm just saying, I was thinking about today. I'm like, who would pick this shit up? It would have to be Vice, Showtime, Hulu,
Or
Netflix.
Spotify would pick up anything, really, if they
Yeah,
thought
they'll
it
pick up anything, or HBO. I think any one of those, because the deal. So here's the deal about this, right? Podcasts experienced a large boom, but now the bubble burst, and people aren't paying out these huge contracts like they
Right.
used to podcasts, right? But they might give out 15 million for a Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jada, and that's once again, I believe that she is a narcissist enough that she's not, she doesn't, she's already filthy rich. She doesn't really care as long as she's on the spotlight. She will
Right.
take a pay cut just to be in our faces and to remind us of her entanglements or whatever gross shit she's into this week.
Right.
Matt says, "What? Don't diss Scientology. I'm an over Thetan 7."
Roll of the die, 7th level. You're
Right, I'm a 7th level warlock. Well, I'm oppressing my wife then because she ain't effing nobody but me. I'll oppress her all day in that case. Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Mantis, this it. Did it. Yeah, I did do it.
That's Tim, by the way, if you didn't know.
What up? Well, didn't you guys hear Jada's next project is she's going to be the villain in the Batman 2? So I can just be as wait, hold on.
No, that's not real. No, it's a joke. They're not bringing her into the Batman.
Watch, she'll be like she's Poison Ivy or some shit.
Again, proving the point that they hate gingers and they want to replace them with black people. Hollywood hates gingers.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Wrong. Prove me wrong.
No, I agree with you. Stephen Arm says Steven Crowder dissed Candace Owen like 10 years ago, and she's been plotting her revenge all this time. I don't like her, but I respect the level of pettiness.
Yeah. Just in case I don't respond to it later because I'm way inebriated. But man, Steven Crowder and Candace Owens going back and forth about his controversy is amazing. Because in the game of social capitalism, Steven Crowder lost this one. He claimed that Candace Owens did A. She rebutted with showing footage from B. And then we came to the conclusion, which is C, that Steven Crowder had embellished A and B never happened. In fact, all Candace ever said publicly on record was pray for Steven Crowder. There's no form of extortion there unless I don't understand the word pray.
I've tried to understand his take on this whole thing, and the only way that I could see it is if have you ever someone ever accused
if
you of
you were smoking meth and shooting heroin, you could probably see it from Steven Crowder.
Has anyone ever accused you of being aggressive or threatening when you not at all?
I'm a black man.
Right, exactly. You know those types of Karens? I could see a Karen being like, she said pray for me. Is that some sort of threat? What the fuck? You know, like, but unless he's that person, there's no other way you can interpret. He's going through something. We need to pray for him as some sort of threat. Right?
No, everything, all the words you put together made an appropriate sentence. But none of it made sense when you said it out loud. Not one word. There's no way Steven Crowder can really surmise from her response of he's got a lot going on. There's some things, even if she said the word I'm privy to, none of it sounded like a blackmail or a threat.
Right. It's ridiculous. He has to be embellishing or insane. Yeah.
It's madness. But Rumble, we're pro Steven Crowder here.
Oh, right. We love him.
YouTube, we're anti Steven Crowder.
That son of a bitch ruined my life
Fuck him.
with every one of those harsh, manly opinions of his. I love it that sometimes on his show he's strapped, like as if someone's gonna break into his show and he's gonna have a shootout.
Okay.
That says maybe Jada could do The View. She'd be perfect with those cackling heads.
She would be perfect on The View.
She would be perfect on The View.
There was another show that got canceled on Fox called The Real. And I was always waiting for the day that they brought Jada on there, which brings us full circle to Don Lemon.
Back
and
to
his
Don
YouTube
Lemon.
channel.
I love it.
I can't remember the young sister's name, but she was on The Real, and then she got a show on The View, and the shit failed. It absolutely failed. Absolutely failed. I'll get it to you. I forget her name. What the fuck is her name? Forget it. I forget it. If you look up The Real, you'll see it. She was on another show on an HBO. It's horrible. Great show, but she was horrible on that shit. In regards to Jada Pinkett, in regards to Steven Crowder, right? Do you think if Steven Crowder saw Jada Pinkett, all he would see is Candace Owens? Like, is he to the point where he's hating black women so much where he sees Candace Owens everywhere?
No, you got this wrong.
Okay.
I think Steven Crowder has a crush on Candace Owens. I think he likes
she alluded to that. She alluded to that.
Yeah, I do actually think I sense there's like a thing where he's like, he wants her to rub his face in the mud. He's like getting off on this.
So you've heard all the other controversies coming out of the Crowder camp that, like, the other portly little comedian that used to be on the show, he's not on there anymore.
I feel
Crowder has an issue with people being perceivably funnier than him, their NDAs, all that stuff.
I think that happens a lot on television, way more than we think. I think I bet you anything, Stephen Colbert or any of these guys, they tell like the other guys in the band or whatever, they're like, don't be funnier than me.
Right. Don't laugh.
Yeah. Don't laugh.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Search has gotta go. Take care, guys. Love you. Yo. Peace. See you, Tim.
Peace.
Matt says the Batman thing was a joke and Hollywood does hate gingers. I absolutely agree. Did you guys see Crowder's latest response to that? I have not seen his latest response, but I would love to hear that. Matt says the Real was crazy bad, but great for bad takes.
Oof.
I gotta be honest, I kind of have a crush on Candace Owens as well.
She's fucking beautiful. Bro, switch our view right now and pull up a picture of Candace Owens. She's fucking beautiful. There's no doubts about it. Candace Owens is a very attractive woman. And Rebecca, aka Princess Beck, says he definitely wants her. Well, that's the funny thing, Bex. So Candace Owens responded to the very thing you're talking about when this whole controversy kicked up dust originally. Mm-hmm. She said in retrospect that Steven Crowder sent her a message after them all being together on election night saying she looked very nice. Candace Owens is a good-looking woman. There's no doubts about it.
I mean, I don't think he was necessarily trying to like endanger his marriage, but he's planted the seed.
See, you dug yourself a grave there. Now we got to play the video of him and his wife outside, right? And this motherfucker, like, Mantis, like, you have to agree the video of him and his wife together is problematic for sure, right?
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I will say this, and I'm not a Crowder defender. I know everyone's like, "Oh, what
he's a Crowder shill."
I would argue that look at her.
Candace Owens is hot. I'm sorry to be the one to say this, bro, but she's hot.
Here's what I'm saying. We need to be careful about taking fights between people in a relationship out of context. And so the question is, did he say, well, actually, we might as well play it at this point.
Wait, one in the chat, is Candace Owens an 8 or a 9? I'm saying she's a 9 for sure.
Here's what I'm saying. This picture does not indicate like her 9ness, but I do think she's a 9.
She's fucking hot. Wait. Go back up.
Yeah.
And then go down a little bit with the cursor.
Mhm.
Down. Go to the right. Up. Right. Click on it. That woman is a 9, bro. Like, that's a 9. Like, she's a
Yeah, I
9.
don't usually watch her show, but I was watching it for this episode. I was like, "We're gonna talk about her tonight," and so I started watching her episode, and I was like, "That's
Ooh, Rogue Radio said 9. She's a 10.
oh, look at that!"
She's fucking hot. There's no lie about it, bro. She's
He
hot.
doesn't have a crush on Candace Owens. Vex says he definitely wants her. White hearts for Laney, which I assume means he wants to get up in there. Don't go full quartering. So yeah, for those of you who don't know quartering is a YouTuber who is in the conservative field. However, he has over 1 million followers. Don't get me wrong, but he's not as I guess he doesn't have as many hits or whatever. So he kind of simps for the other conservatives.
Yo, not only is she hot, she's a hot, dark-skinned woman. Fuck your head all up. Fuck your head all up if you're into that type of stuff.
Matt says a 9. Rogue Radio says a 9. She's a 10. Bax says she's beautiful and she has amazing fashion sense. I've been saying this all this time. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that video was bad. I like Crowder, but I've never talked to my pregnant wife like that. And I didn't hear him say it. But if he said, I'll fuck you up, that's fucking crazy. I agree. That is like
100%. 100%.
So let's get that video up there. You know what it is? We're always risking a copyright strike anytime we share anything. But you know what? We're going to do it for you because we love you guys. Right?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Okay. What do I put in? Crowder.
Old people problems. Observe the old mantis in his native habitat.
Oh, fuck you. Crowder wife video. There we go.
Typing in words like Crowder.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, I love you.
Oh my god, this is awesome. Why did I say that's awesome? It's not awesome. Domestic abuse is never awesome.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Okay. We're gonna check this out. And boom. Lambo. And then okay. Playing the video now. Steve, you good? I'm gonna assume he's good.
I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it. You go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. It's not fair, and it's disingenuous.
This was not my choice. And wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted.
Pause it.
For the record, guys, here's what it is. That video that we first saw contradicts this. Here's what it is. When it got leaked that he was having a divorce for the last 2 years, people were criticizing Mr. Ultra Conservative for getting a divorce. He said on his show, I love her. She decided to walk out on me. There was no abuse whatsoever.
So here's the thing about it, right? So the contentious point about this, if you're a liberal, most obvious argument is Steven Crowder making an argument against no fault divorce. That's where we need to land. So what he's saying is that in the state of Texas, you don't need to establish any fault, and the marriage can be dissolved.
Right.
Do women have agency to divorce their husbands for whatever reason? What do you think, Mantis?
So I would say yes. And so it pretty much comes down to this. I feel like in any fair or sane society, people can do whatever they want. We can enter a contract and leave it whenever we want. I absolutely believe
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
obviously there are contracts that keep you locked in or whatever in certain situations. I don't think a marriage should be. Like if I
So,
marry a woman, they shouldn't be like, well, you need to remain married for the next 5 years. I don't think that's fair.
so let me ask you a question. What's your religious proclivities mixed in there? Does your answer change at all, or
Okay, so I would actually say that, in my opinion, what a state marriage is and what a religious ones are different things.
okay?
And
Expound.
I do not believe that they should be the same because once again, we have a separation of church and state. And so it makes no sense that we force everyone to follow the Christian belief. If the state wants to get involved in marriage as they have always been, I can't fault them for the way they want to do the rules. But what their argument is, this is a contract between two humans, which makes sense. That people should be able to opt out if they want.
Okay. Does that change if you're a Catholic? Because the Catholic understanding of marriage is not way different, but a little more stringent than the Protestant mainline understanding of marriage,
I mean,
right? So,
Protestants basically created their religion so they could get divorced.
no, that's not true. You fucking liar.
That's not factual. I'm teasing Protestantism, obviously.
So here's the difference.
That's a common joke.
Here's the difference between the two, right? So in the Protestant view, right, there's something in First Corinthians that deals with divorce from the Protestant perspective. If your husband or wife is an unbeliever and they leave you because of your views, you're not compelled to follow them. That is the grounds for divorce if you're a Protestant.
And
if you're a Catholic, there is no grounds for divorce.
Well, okay, so I would point out that First Corinthians is, and so we're going to get into an argument right now, a theological one right now.
Oh my goodness, we're
because
gonna get into an argument, but you're wrong. You're
Let me
wrong.
speak. Is it right if I said First Corinthians was written by Saint Paul? Love the guy.
Right.
However, Jesus on divorce, he actually says during his lifetime, you can go get your divorces if you want, but in the eyes of God, you're still married to that woman.
No, those are two entirely separate topics. The verse you're quoting.
How is that?
No, I'll tell you how it's two, because the verse you're quoting, and that is about the woman who had multiple husbands at the well. And Jesus said, I tell you that you've only had one. But if you gave her for having multiple husbands, that's different.
But that's the point. His
No. That's not the point. You Catholics always do this, you sad, sorry bastards.
So what's your loose interpretation, as you guys?
No, it's not my loose interpretation. Paul said literally in First Corinthians that if your spouse is a non-believer, you're under no doctrinal reason to pursue them. He never said if you can get remarried or any of those things. He just said if they don't believe and they left, you don't have to pursue them.
You know, so I follow Christianity, not Paulianity.
All right, I knew you were gonna go. I knew you were gonna go there. And you were not gonna deal with the actual thing said. You were just gonna go fucking Tucker Carlson on me.
I just say, if Jesus at one point said, "Get your divorce," you are still.
He never said get your divorce.
No, yes, he did.
No, he didn't. You're freaking.
Once again, we should actually start up our own channel, a different channel called Mantis and Hold Up Debate the Bible, and we should actually bring actual things and have a real debate. That would be a great time. Obviously,
it'd be a great time. It'd be a short episode when I proved you wrong.
I don't remember that.
You start talking about what are these books that aren't recognized in Christianity? You'd be like, you know what books I'm talking about. You're a Catholic.
I do know it, John, but I'm not going to say it. Me up.
All right, play.
Let's see what Crowder has to say.
Play it.
That's not my choice. She simply wanted out, and the law says that that's how it works. Now, of course, look, I get it. There are multiple sides to every story, but one thing that is undeniable in this case is that it's no one's fault but my own in that I picked wrong.
Wow. Kevin Samuels shit. I picked wrong. Bex, did you hear him? He picked wrong.
Yeah, he's basically quoting Kevin Samuels. He's paraphrasing. But so there we have it. And so, but however, we saw that video, him treating her like crap.
Did we see it yet?
Well, we didn't see. I got to move the thing because I love how they conveniently didn't have the end of that video where he says a certain something.
So go look up the Candace Owens. Don't pick the majority report. You're going to be angry. Sam Sneeder, that beautiful man. Choose better, motherfucker.
That's Young Turks. We're not doing Young Turks. Young Turks is banned from our show, by the way.
I love Young Turks, man.
Do you really?
No, I mean I do, but I don't. Like I hate watching.
I feel that. Yeah, you hate watching. I feel that. Come on. Doesn't anyone just have a clear copy of it?
Just look up Candace Owens, Steven Crowder. Oh man, having so much fun. I've been waiting to do this episode. Jada Pinkett, I hope you burn in the same hell that Spoon's going to. Burn, you bald-headed bitch! Burn!
Yeah, right. You don't want the majority report, right?
No, for sure I don't.
Candace podcast
that one, right there. Yes.
So a bit of breaking news that just happened. And before we get to it, I just want to back up and tell you why we are discussing this breaking news, because it's occurred to me that there are some people out there who believe that to be a conservative.
One in the chat, if Candace Owens fits the beautiful black queen narrative. Two, if she doesn't. One, if she does. What? Shut the fuck up. One, if she does. What if she does?
What is beautiful black queen narrative?
Shut up!
Describe it for our viewers, damn it.
She's a dark-skinned, quote-unquote, black woman. One in chat, if she fits that. Two, if she doesn't.
Okay. Beck says, right, she's a beautiful and she's amazing fashion sense. Matt says, yeah, the video is bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when we actually show
it, don't do that. You Tucker.
Well, we already read it, which is why I'm skipping over them, because I respect the Quarterings hustle. I totally respect the Quarterings hustle. He puts out 5 videos a day, and he also does a live stream every other day with Sidney Watson, and he's starting a
City Boys up.
What's with the gloves comment? The gloves oh, because so apparently. Oh, actually, let's see if RM explains it. He told his wife to put on gloves to give their dogs medicine. She said she didn't want to because she was worried that the medicine was toxic to pregnant women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beck says, choose better. I love Samuels. Talking too soon. Laugh out loud. She is cute and evil. She can be both. I support her. Okay, let's see.
What it means is that we become tribal and we defend other conservatives even when they do things that are wrong, that we don't discuss things that are horrible on our own side because we need to just make sure that we score wins in other ways, and that is wrong.
Yes. Yes, I love everything she just said, because that is a problem, not just with conservatives, with leftists too, but people will completely pretend they don't see the evils that their politician, celebrity, or whoever is engaging in. It's totally fucked up. And here's the thing. Thank God I'm not on the Crowder train, so I can call him as I see it, you know?
She's hot. She's a 9.
The exact opposite of why I have this platform. I am not tribal. I want to expose things when they are bad on the left, and I will also expose things when they are bad on the right. Obviously, I have been interested in the Steven Crowder saga pertaining to his divorce because he literally inserted me into his divorce a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and his wife and family are now speaking out regarding that video in which he told people publicly that his wife was leaving him. You remember this. He chose wrong. And he essentially made it sound as if he did not want his marriage to end, but his wife simply wanted to leave. Well,
Well,
she
wait,
has.
before she goes any further, I will say it is possible, and this is not saying nice things about Steven Crowder, that he did want his wife to stick around so she could be a punching bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He
a
was on
verbal
that, he was on
punching
that Ike Turner shit. He's like, why don't you understand? Why don't you understand? I want you to be here so I can beat you up. I'm like, he's like, Steven Crowder has spent many a moon propping himself up as a moral authority. Whether or not he takes ownership of that, he has done that. He has laid himself in a place where he's like, morally, I understand why these college kids are stupid, right? We all know the Crowder videos when he's on the college campuses. He's taking moral stances. This is a bad look, Mantis. I'm sorry. And you look pretty yellow, but this is a bad look for a Crowder.
I do look yellow. I don't understand. I have the bluest lights on me, and I look fucking yellow. It's driving me nuts. You don't understand how self-conscious I am. I look sickly.
I thought you had jaundice, and I'm like,
Yeah, I look like Joe Rogan when the New York Times tried to pretend that he was actually sick when he wasn't, and they changed the color on him.
yeah, bro. I was like, if Mantis has kids, I'll take care of them. That jaundice motherfucker.
Just the before I get Donald Trump points, let's see what our beautiful Nubian queen can.
Black queen
responded by giving video, and I want to prep you. I want you to know this is horrific video. It is very difficult to watch. It's especially difficult to watch because in this footage, she is 8 months pregnant. And the video essentially reveals just how emotionally abusive he has been. And she is alleging that he has been emotionally abusive to her. And this video all but confirms it. So let's first get to the footage. I'm just going to allow you to watch it in its entirety.
I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries. Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's not unreasonable.
She's
but I'll go do
pregnant
it.
AF
How about you
right
first?
now.
Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, other than man. Other than man. Receive love.
Look at how pregnant she is, bro.
Other than man.
It's amazing.
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not.
then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
What?
Like I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me.
Pause
I can't
it.
go to the gym. I can go. out.
Bro, if your wife if she has to say your name 3 times, the first time she could be wrong. The second time it could be an exaggeration. The third time you might be wrong, dude. She's like, Steven.
And also here's the first thing. Okay, I want to say something that sounds like a dick thing, but I am on her side. Well, one, they're filthy rich, so an Uber shouldn't be a problem. But
my nigga, he said if you want to do wifely duties, okay, I get it. I get that part. But she's so pregnant, she has to wear her shirt above her fucking belly.
no, I feel that, and he's not willing to even do anything for her.
He's sitting there with tube socks on. He's got white tube socks on. Everything you're saying sounds horrible. Sounds horrible.
This dude right here,
Steven Crowder, I rock with you, but you got tube socks on, barking orders at your wife, your pregnant wife, about her wifely duties.
Beck says, "You guys are hilarious. You're making my shift go faster. Thank you. Anytime. That's what we're here for."
Amen.
Parents, I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car.
She's pulling up her pants. She's so pregnant.
You made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven,
Wait, hold on. I don't understand. At this time, they were already rich. He can't afford 2 cars?
Bro, you can't afford Uber Eats? Like, yo, they'll bring you all your fucking groceries.
He can't have Uber Eats. He can't have 2 cars. Like, what type of cheap bastard is this?
Yo, we work at a low bottom feeding place, you and I, Mantis. We get Uber Eats on almost anything.
Yeah, if I need an Uber, I'm gonna take an Uber. He can't take an Uber. Why doesn't he give her the car and he take an Uber? I don't fucking get it. He can't afford 2 cars. Look at the nice house he has. He can't fucking afford a second car. That's crazy.
Yo, her belly is out. She's so pregnant. She's got her shirt up. Yeah, I gotta let you know something, Mantis.
Yeah, Matt points out the same thing. If it's so rich, why do they only have 1 car?
Yo, if your wife is so pregnant, whether or not the shirt can fit over the belly, but she has to wear the shirt above the belly, nigga, just get up and go get the fuck. What are you asking for? Go get that shit. She's
And so
that
anyone
pregnant.
who's been married, I've never been married, and I've never had like well, actually I'm gonna refrain from the next comment.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, married men have to do all sorts of crazy things for their pregnant wives. So I don't see why
It's not all a bunch of things. It's like he's like, yo, go do this. I'm like, but wait, she's pregnant.
Yeah, why don't you
I
do it,
can't
bro?
think of a time where I made Mrs. Holdup go do any of the things he described.
You look at her like, Mrs. Holdup, we need to plow the fields right now. You need to get on a tractor and make it happen.
Okay. Wait.
My wife, when she was pregnant, I practically did everything for her, says Matt. She was wearing my children. He's being an asshole right now. I feel that.
100%.
The only way out of this is discipline and respect.
He's sitting there with white tube socks on, smoking a cigar, by the way.
You can't have any discipline and respect. Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand. You give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
You give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem.
Wow.
I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it. You go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay.
He won't even
Put on some
debate
gloves. No.
Cam
But I love you more than
Crowder
life itself.
the way
It's
he's
not fair.
debating
It's
his
not fair,
wife.
and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll get texting that you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you.
He's got white
Walk the
tube
dog, put on
socks
some
on.
gloves.
I need to.
Walk the dog, put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those
Walk
things?
the dog.
Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just.
Walk the dog, put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dog? Don't you take that in?
So that is both heartbreaking and
Did she cut the scene? They cut the scene or the audio
Bro,
where he says, "I'll fuck you up."
Cut the scene. Like, yo, he's guilty, bro. He's guilty. like, he's guilty. I'm sorry, Mantis. I'm sorry, man.
He's not like. I love you're like.
He's guilty. He's guilty.
He's not my hero. It's not like I have any skin on the game.
I'm not saying he's your hero. He's your hero. I'm saying that he is socially guilty of these things. Yo, it's your pregnant wife.
He's some crazy narcissist who's like, "Serve me, bitch." Like, kind of like that's his attitude. He wants to put his wife through like hazing. He's probably a serial killer.
Sam Crowder might agree with you. For real.
RM says, "My son was 10 pounds, 15 ounces at birth. I feel like I got the twins experience, laugh out loud. And it was hard just standing on solid ground in the last 2 months. I would almost step over it." Yeah, it is crazy that like it's so I feel like it's so easy to empathize with somebody who is pregnant, not because of everything they go through, just the added weight. Imagine another human is in someone's stomach. Have
Yo,
some
it's your
mercy on-
pregnant wife. Now, yo, my guy, I've argued with my wife while she's pregnant. Like, I have. I'm not proud of it. But this nigga said, "You don't love me." I have no idea what they were arguing about, but he had white tube socks on and he would not get out of his seat. Right? He wouldn't. He
It drives
would
me
not.
nuts that he's like wealthy. He's so wealthy. And he like here's what his money would solve all of their every problem they were having would have been solved easily.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But the
You
real question,
honestly, you know what you could do? You could call a town car service and order the like hire them for the day and be like, drive my wife around. It's that simple.
bro, she told him multiple times, "I love you."
And I'm committed to you.
Yeah. Now the real question is, was his wife not attractive enough to compete with Candace Owens? That's what we need to figure out. Was Steven Crowder like, "Yo, I don't need you anymore. I love this brown biddy. Fuck you, you pale ape. I want this black queen." That's what we need to figure out.
That says, yeah, Steve. I argued with my wife when she was pregnant, but I didn't say that shit that he was saying. Yeah. Matt continues saying, "Yeah, I like how he told her to watch it, and then he told her, 'You don't love me.' That you don't love me.
Oh,
That is
that's
that
like
is
Joe
some
Jackson.
sociopath shit.
That's some Joe Jackson shit right there.
You don't love me because you didn't scrub the kitchen floor.
You fat bitch. I'm pregnant.
Love.
I'm pregnant. Oh my god. Mantis, how can you defend this man anymore?
I'm not defending him. Why do you keep saying that? I do not. I'm not. For the record, I have not been defending Steven Crowder. He's not my boy. I don't even watch his show.
He's your boy. He's your boy.
Here's what I watch clips from the show. I do not watch the show.
Okay. Okay. So Candace Owens is right, what you're saying.
Candace, I'll tell you this. She is the true champion because she's defeating everyone who's coming against her. Mad people come at her and she destroys them.
She's hot. She's a 9. She's a 9.
Yes, she is hot. But I'm
Like
saying
she's a German 9. Like 9. Zeke Hell.
I'm saying she always keeps receipts. She's always able to one up people like that. She might win these social
Yo,
media games.
I could fucking kill Candace in a debate. I don't understand why so many people fall prey to her. I don't get that part.
Do you actually think you could beat her in debate?
Yes, even though I think she's attractive, I'd be like, fuck you, Candace. And then get into the points. Like, Steven Crowder failed at this because he accused her of blackmail, of like extortion. But based on her original comment, which was, "Hey, pray for Steven Crowder," there's nothing there. You can't make that claim. That's not how I would attack Candace. I wouldn't attack her character, any of that shit. You have to attack her points. That's how you beat Candace Owens.
We need to arrange a debate with you and Candace Owens. That would be the best. That'd be the best thing I ever produced.
Candace, I love you, but your points are not on.
I
point.
would love you to tear her apart.
I'm not here to tear her apart. You're a beautiful black Nubian Egyptian goddess.
Whoa. If I'm going to produce this thing, you need to tear her apart.
Wait, can she not be those things? Will I tear her apart?
Oh yeah, she can be those things. She can be this, but I'm saying I need you to be the man to in a debate rip her apart, and so that her followers regret following her and they follow you.
They'll never regret that. But I promise you this: I would not do the same thing as Steven Crowder. I'm gonna attack her points, and that's it. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna attack her points. That's where people fail with Candace Owens. Even when they were attacking her about backing Kanye, they still made it about everything but her points.
Right. You're that well said. Absolutely. You are right on that. And still they can't break her apart, but she's really good. She keeps the receipts. She knows how to take she's good at taking people apart and you're not even that vicious about it.
Nigga, I keep receipts. And Bex asks, what does her husband? Can you bring that up?
What does her husband do? Does he ever come outside the house?
No, he's an aristocrat. He's British secondary, third level royalty. He doesn't need to do anything.
And
He's an aristocrat.
do you know he do you know he proposed after like 3 weeks or something?
Yeah.
After
That
3
good.
weeks, he
It's that
proposed.
good African Bambata.
Damn, yo,
Damn.
He's got the good stuff. But
Simping, he obviously was not taking the red pill.
what a simp. But before we end up closing, Steve's disappeared for a sec. But honestly, what we should be talking about right now, we never fully finished our Don Lemon thing. So we hit up Crowder. We certainly hit up Jada, damn Jada. But we never actually finished Don Lemon. Don Lemon was so hard up for a job that you know Tucker Carlson, he's taking his time. He's like, I'm gonna suss out what's all happening, and to get he's calm and cool. Don Lemon is one of those panicky guys who has to have a job where he quickly just got like signed up with BET. Is that insane? Does anyone realize how insane that is? I brought us back to Don Lemon and how insane it is.
Oh my God.
Yo, come on, wait, hold on. Really, think about it. That a BET job, he is desperate for a job.
Wait, what are you saying about BET? Desperate?
Well, I would say that at least he would do something in like news.
I don't think Don Lemon.
Don Lemon's gonna be introducing rap music.
No, he's not a VJ. He's not a VJ.
But I mean,
he's gonna have his own nightly show, commentary, news adjacent.
Oh, so they're like news from a black man is their concept. Because I don't know that they have news. Do they have a news division?
They did multiple times. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Why don't I know? Who are their anchors? I don't know. I don't know who their anchors.
Mantis, can we stop pretending that you don't have a beef with BET? Stop pretending like you don't have a beef with BET.
I do have a beef with BET. I do have issues with BET.
All right, here's the thing about
because they make the African American look like a fool.
I agree with you. Don Lemon's show is primarily going to be a late night, kind of adjacent Carson Daily. What's the other guy's name?
Right. Okay, so it's like Daily Show. It's like Stephen Colbert.
Right. That type of shit, right? So 3 years, $50 million. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that is a substantial amount to offer to a character like Don Lemon? 50 million over 3 years.
So as we discussed in our last, cut like it was probably 2 or 3 episodes ago, we actually played Don Lemon's thoughts on his own community.
Right.
And so if I was the producer of the situation and they're like, will you pay him $50 million? I would say, no, I want a real black person to deliver news.
Right. Based off of his previous views that he stated about whether or not African Americans should pull their pants up, Do you think that disqualifies Don Lemon?
Absolutely. It's crazy because at least BET is supposed to have its finger on the pulse of the community. And so I'm sorry. I know it's really offensive. I hate it when people say I'm not black. I hate it when I think it's wrong to say that. However, I've been saying that this entire episode about him.
Right.
I will say this. He has made himself an enemy of the black community because he's so affluent and so together that he sticks his nose up at the black community, and yet somehow he's going to deliver them news.
Can I I gotta put my fucking can I propose a different point of
Okay.
view? All right, so here's the deal, right?
Let's give you the job. You should have a
Don,
next one.
oh, I would love it. I would love that job. Don Lemon's point of view on BET is not going to be anything that relates to what we covered last week's episode, right? He will never address what he said about in regards to pulling your pants up, low crime, don't litter in your own community. He won't address any of those issues. His show on BET is going to be so surface level type of nonsensical bullshit, right? Because at the end of the day, I bring you back to my original point. So watch Mantis get very uncomfortable. And this is why I stated this point at the onset of our show. Are LGBTQ issues black issues? Watch me bring you full circle. Don Lemon, Don Lemon, who is a gay man, are these issues the same as black issues?
So
And this is what he's going to face on BET.
here's what the real difference is. Here's what's happening.
Wait. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying, but here's the whole thing. What it is it's not that is
Don Lemon is a proud card
is
carrying
it's
member
not
of
that is
the-
it LGBT issues, black ones. It's that he has decided to handle them the way whites do. And
Bro.
blacks are not gonna vibe with that.
I get what you're saying. But
Yeah.
here's the real issue. Don Lemon is a huge proponent of LGBTQ plus issues. How will the black proper quote unquote community respond
But-
to him?
Right,
in
but
these
what I'm
issues?
saying is I can name I know at least 20 black LGBT members who could
20
at least 20 who could easily do his job better than him, because you know what? They actually experience it as black people, but he decides to do it through the white lens, and they're not going to appreciate that.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. But the issue will remain of those issues, black issues. That's how people are going to view this.
I see what you're saying. People will say that. I think they are. I think obviously it's all people issues. But I just here's what I'm saying. I think his candor will be very white, and that will be off-putting. That's going to be very off-putting. That's going to be very off-putting to the community. You know,
So allow me to answer the
while
question.
he's muttering, "Pull your pants up," they are not going to be appreciating that. It's like another thing. Pull your pants up.
Pull your pants up, get a job.
Get a job. Get off welfare. Stop living at your mama's house. Get those laps out of your head, boy. Yeah, is that what they want to hear? Is that what BET is trying to sell to people? Because
Bro, I'm telling you, this show is gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb like homegirl Angela, whatever her name is, from The Real. It's gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb, right? It's gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb. But shout out to Don Lemon for getting that bag, right? Because that's the real point, right? 3 years, $50 million contract. I don't know what his payout is on the regard. And when I say the regard, it's like, regardless of what I do next, am I going to get that $50 million? I don't know. But remember this, Mantis. He's gonna get 50 million proposed 3 years. He's still got to get paid out for his CNN contract, bro.
Right, right.
He
It's
and
so
Tucker
expensive to fire
Carlson,
these guys.
he and Tucker Carlson, Mantis, you are using the same lawyer to get their money from these two networks.
Are they?
Yes, bro. They're using this same lawyer as the lawyer that fucking Chris Cuomo. Shout out Andrew Cuomo.
Yes. Shout out to Andrew Cuomo. Thank you for saying that. I love it.
Shout out to Andrew Cuomo, the man who has been vindicated but will never be acknowledged as vindicated.
Right. Yeah, they put out an ad before the election. They wanted to see if he was going to rerun. And they pointed out, and this is true, a lot of people forget this, that none of them sticked. Literally, it went to like grand juries. Grand juries would not even have the sexual harassment case.
Not one allegation.
Nothing stuck. He was taken out of the governor for false accusations and unproven nonsense.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Meanwhile, people are like, look at Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul is do nothing. The only thing she does is like she's a Bills.
Do nothing, bitch.
Yeah, she does nothing. She's like, I'm gonna build a Bills stadium. And they're like, what about crime? Is there crime? I don't know. Like, you know. But watching Don Lemon try to be on BET is gonna be hysterical. I can't wait to see where Tucker lands. That's gonna be very fascinating.
Amazing.
But honestly, I think there's a lot. I feel like I personally know a lot of DJs and hosts who would be better nightly news people or nightly talk show people, namely Steve, the Hold Up TV, would be amazing. And I will say, like I said, I'm just going to reiterate, it's not that LGBT issues are not black issues. It's that he handles it in a white way that's people are not going to vibe well with at BET.
Well said. What's that? Fanboy After Dark. Did you have a good time?
I always have a good time. You have a good time?
I'm having a good time, but I feel as if though if we don't sign off now, we could get canceled.
I feel you, brother. I've been having a good time. When you play the music, well,
I don't have it anymore.
So we'll just
Yo,
play it down.
Fuck road mixers. Fuck road mixers, you motherfuckers. You fucked up the whole show. You fucking Australian bastards.
Oh, they're Australians. Never trust an Aussie, man. Never turn your back on an Aussie.
You sold a defective product.
Yeah, Beck says,
Pieces of shit.
finishing out the chat, Beck says, what does her husband do? Does he ever go outside the house? Absolutely.
Well, her husband, Candace Owens' husband, he's an aristocrat.
He was born into money. He had money. He wined and dined her, and then within 3 weeks proposed. He's a British dude, and she was like, yes. And
apparently they live in the South in America, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would you live there?
I saw the episode. Daily Wire does this thing where like they have all their hosts do a what is it? When you're strapped to the wires, what is it? Lie detector.
A Daily Wire.
Yeah. They do lie detectors. They ask them questions, and another host.
Polygraph.
Yeah, polygraph and stuff. They asked her like, your husband's British. Would you really move to England? And she goes, totally. And then the guy's like, that's a lie. And apparently she would like secretly never really move to England because she loves America.
Bunch of crooked teeth motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, apparently they don't put fluoride in their water, but that has nothing to do with anything. Right now, we've had such a good time on Fanboy. RM says Crowder is the worst when he tries to be funny. The segment he did the other day where he was laughing at a child who had Down syndrome. Damn.
Fuck that motherfucker.
And the Down syndrome doll was gross. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that sounds horrible. That sounds absolutely horrible. Matt Cat says He should host the All Express version of Total Request Live. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Total Request Live.
Yes.
I'm having the best time, says Matt. Oh, hell yeah. Great stream. Can't wait for the next one. Awesome possum. It is a very close possibility that me and Rogue Radio will do a conspiracy stream tomorrow, actually, tomorrow night.
Hey.
Yeah. And then hashtag fangirls for fanboys. Thank you, Bex. Always a pleasure to have you aboard. And our final comment for the night. Oh, I see. You didn't sign off. And you're still going. Yes, we are leaving now. We all love you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. This is Fanboy Modeling School on our special report dealing with Don Lemon going to BET and
Loser.
what a loser. Right? And Jada Pinkett Smith sucking. Until next time.
Wait. We didn't smoke on a Jada pack enough. Bro, I want you to know this is a woman that allowed her husband to go up during an award ceremony, smack another man.
She encouraged it. She encouraged that.
After she pretended to be offended by it. This is Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett, who had coitus with her son's best friend. So I just want to lay this out for you, Mantis.
Cover it up.
Mantis, I want to lay this out for you. Your mom allows you to bring Zeus in so she can have coitus with him.
Oh, fuck. I killed them both. Oh, wait. Are we live? I didn't say that.
Your mom says, yo, your best friend is welcome here for spiritual healing.
So
I can fuck him.
I can't deal with it. I can't deal. Emotionally, I can't deal with the thought of like one of my boys
you
coming.
The emotional damage thing. At least,
yeah, you go to your boy.
Emotional damage.
You go to your boy, and he's like, "Yo, my mom kicked me out. I have no place to go." I'm like, come chill at my place. And then he bangs my mom.
Hit that shit.
You better believe.
Hit the emotional
that would end
damage.
on Mantis at a trial for something.
Hit the emotional damage.
I did it.
Emotional damage.
If your mom says to you, hey, I'm going to help your friend get better by having sex with him, hit it.
Oh.
Emotional damage.
If your mother says to you, bring your best friend over, I can help him heal, hit it.
Emotional damage.
If your mother says, I care about him because he's almost like a son to me, hit it.
Emotional damage.
If your wife says to you, I'm a spiritual healer and I got a show from Facebook, hit it.
Emotional damage.
Wait. If you're an older black woman that says, I'm trying to help young men understand where they stand in the world, hit it.
Emotional damage.
If she says, my husband moved out, you're the only one, hit it.
Emotional damage.
If you're a red pillar and you believe in what Kevin Samuel says, but he's dead, he's gone, hit it.
Emotional damage.
And if you're Mantis and you need to go pee after a long podcast, hit it.
Hit it.
Emotional damage.
This is us signing off. I'm sorry, guys. I love you all. I've had such a good time. Bex is laughing her ass off. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Keep tuning in. We're going to have more special reports, more fun. Fanboy Modeling School will never end the shenanigans. Until next time, ciao for motherfucking now.
Hit it.